Alright, gotta do a video on this. This has got me bothered a little bit with what this guy did. Silver the Antidote, now that it's becoming crystal clear to me. But first I want to talk about Pillar Token. You've got about 5 hours left. Anybody who wants in on Pillar Token. I was talking with the CEO, David, a little bit. They've decided, and I know the emails have already gone out. You know, what their token's doing, they don't see that it's ever possible that there'll be regulation considering their token and what it does as any kind of security or anything like that, which is why all these companies block Americans from joining, because they're worried about American future regulation, and they're just, screw it. And not only that, this is it. You've got 5 hours. After the 5 hours, whatever's left over that has not sold out is going what they call in cold storage or going on ice for like 10 years. Part of me says, you know what, bring it on. Don't sell out more. That's just less out there, and those of us that own it, it should become more valuable, in all honesty. But at the same time, I want to see these guys super successful, and if they want, all their tokens to sell out or most of their tokens to sell out, great. I wish them all the success in the world, because I'm really psyched about the Pillar project. I think it's going to be a huge win in the future. I just don't know how far out, but I don't think it'll be too far out, to be honest with you, because everybody's taking these ICOs, these new tokens, and running. And okay, we got the money in. We're going to sell off some Ethereum to get the cash in, and start working on these projects immediately. I think this stuff's going to come together much faster than anyone ever thought. So, anyways, you got a few hours left, and then it's over. You'll never be able to get these again unless you buy them on Ether Delta or some exchange when they're listed on an exchange. It'd be the only way you could get them. Having said that, let's discuss Populous Token. Cliff High did an interview with the YouTube channel. I don't know, I'm not gonna say his real name of the guy. Silver the Antidote has this great interview talking about Populous and all this stuff. Everybody wants in on Populous. It becomes extremely valuable. It went up at least 10 times its value. At some point it was higher. Huge win. Like I said, I was able to sell off a little bit, like maybe 1 Ethereum worth out of 5 Ethereum that I had into it, and that returned me almost 25 Ethereum. I'm super happy about that, but I knew, and still feel like I know now, it's going to go back to where it was, great numbers, and even go higher. Why did it crash all of a sudden? As I discussed yesterday, which you saw the video this morning, there's at least one whale that got nervous with what happened with Silver the Antidote and the Populous team. And the Populous team, I think it's run by a British fella who doesn't just sit idly by and try to be calm and collective and deal with any issues. The guy's very vocal. He's upset. And I think, to be honest with you, rightfully so. So here's what I'm going to say that I know, but I'm also going to still say, to protect my free speech, that this could very well be hearsay. Even though I've seen some emails, even though I've seen some screenshots, even though I've seen some things. To protect my free speech from, potentially slandering or whatever, this is still my opinion. But it's a strong opinion, okay? This guy, Silver the Antidote, is pretty much laughing at myself and Cliff High because we don't use our powerful YouTube presence, in crypto space especially, presence, to earn ourselves some sick income. Like, hey, let's find a couple ICO companies, whether me and Cliff were to do this together or separately, just plain and simple, neither of us are doing this. And he thinks it's funny, this guy, Silver the Antidote, that we're not actively reaching out to companies that are about to or going to go live with their ICOs and saying, look, if he or I or this guy or whatever, we do a video, we're going to pull a bunch of money, millions and millions and millions of dollars into your company, your ICO. We want a piece of that action. Now, in any normal world, you would say that's legitimate. You have a YouTube product, it'd be the equivalent, oh, I want to get my product in front of a bunch of people. I'll put them on Sean Hannity, or put them on this thing, or you'll hear about it, right? Okay, great. I paid you a service. You're promoting my product, right? That's how it works in this world. So I could do that. However, I look at myself and Cliff High. We are honorable people. We have a reputation that we didn't just come overnight. I can't sit here in good conscience, and Cliff High as well. I know this for a fact. I've already spoke with him. I know the man for years now. I know the kind of guy he is. Plain and simple. We are not going to actively reach out to anybody, any company, and say, hey, you know, I got a lot of pull on YouTube, my buddy Cliff and I, or me, myself, whatever, and that's it. If somebody comes to us, one of these companies, and I told you, I've actually had talks with two people, two different companies, that found my channel, love what I do about it. They, you know, they see the reach I have with people, and have actually, you know, well, I'm not gonna say I know where this is going yet, but I got a sneaky suspicion that there may be potentially, you know, things offered to us like what this guy's saying, where, hey, we'd like to pay you a fee for a speaking engagement, or pay you a fee for whatever, about our token or whatever. I can feel those coming. I've already had two conversations, just barely. And as I said in my other video, no matter what is offered to me financially, ever, will I be told, you can't talk about this coin, I will only promote our coin. No. I don't mind talking about your coin. I don't mind promoting your coin. As a matter of fact, if you're going to pay me, great. Or Cliff even, right? But we don't go actively looking for people, companies, ICOs, to do that. And to date, there's been nothing offered to us, myself included. Now, unless Cliff hasn't told me, he's got some little secret deal on the side, but I know Cliff High, and we ain't like that. So this clown, Silver the Antidote, is basically saying to the people at Populous, I brought you a bunch of money, I brought you this, and I brought you that, and I dealt with this, and I dealt with that, and I deserve compensation. And I want, you know, $30,000. That's the alleged number I've heard for doing so. And usually it's $30,000 to $60,000 for stuff like this. Meanwhile, me and Cliff, we're only looking at what we think is going to be good and talking about it free of charge. The ICO companies, if you happen to be one we talked about, you get a free bonus. We're not charging you. We like what you're doing. That's why we're talking about it. I don't have to be compensated. But if they decided all of a sudden, wow, we got, you know, $30, $40 million coming in, these two guys have been talking about, so a lot of that's due to them. Hell, we ought to help, you know, we ought to work with these guys. Great, we're here. But we're not reaching out trying to make money. We don't, that's just not what this was about. This was, the whole crypto thing is not about, oh, a new business opportunity, I can get rich, you know, by getting a labeled, you know, Pillar token or Populous token or whoever token behind me and, you know, backing me or whatever. No. That's not what this was. All I wanted to do was get in on some of this action, right? Populous and Pillar and Veritasium and all these tokens. So what this guy has done, Silver the Antidote, raced his videos. Now people are scared. What happened? Oh my God, he doesn't support them anymore. His Cliff High video's down. Uh-oh. People start panic selling. A whale of some extent decided to join the frenzy. Sold off, got nervous, got completely scared. I've got people emailing me, oh my gosh, what happened with Populous? It was doing fantastic. Should I sell before it goes any worse? No, just hang on. I think it'll recover. I think it'll recover just fine after this whole air here clears. But this just goes to show you, again, if what I'm alleging is correct, and it's all opinion of Jay Snip and hearsay, so let's keep that for now. This just goes to show you what potentially one massively greedy person who thinks their channel is the shit and deserves this massive compensation and laughing at me and Cliff High because we're not capitalizing, making even more money than this guy would. That's not what we're about, but it is apparently what this guy's about. Again, I've seen emails, I've seen screenshots, I've seen some other things I'm not going to discuss. so I feel comfortable saying these things. He's trying to play it off as if it was just a big mass misunderstanding, and it may, it's the populist guy. If it's either a misunderstanding or it's the populist guys that's at fault, one or the other. And this individual is responsible for a massive destruction of the price of Populous because of what he tried to do. In my opinion. This is one person that didn't even have a huge YouTube channel. I looked at his videos. I've seen all the views they get going back months and months and months and months ago. He deleted all the recent videos. We have to be responsible as human beings that when we take an action, especially in this kind of space, crypto space or investment as in stock market and stuff, that when we say something and we have any kind of decent following on YouTube or television, wherever you may be, there's kind of a responsibility to not do something stupid that can cause people to panic. Look at what the government does. They don't want panic. They'll lie through their teeth, worse than you've ever seen, to just make sure people don't freaking panic. So, I have to say this. I can't just sit back here watching Populous, the team at Populous, getting screwed over, getting a bad rap, get a bad reputation, fighting with people in their Slack forum because of what this guy did, and now they're basically on defense mode, trying to stop things from rolling downhill even further. And I can't blame them. Maybe the CEO's temper or way he handles things a little different than somebody else, But this is a big deal. There's millions and millions and millions of dollars involved. If I were Silver the Antidote, I would be lawyering up left and right now, if it were me. Because based off of what I've seen, and now I think I know because of what I've seen, the damage they've caused to Populous and all of its but all of the people who got into investors and maybe sold off based off of just this guy's actions and what he's alleging, which doesn't appear to be true. It seems he wanted a nice payday. They decided to say, no, we never had an agreement to pay you anything. You're now coming in after the fact to say, oh, well, I pushed this and I got Cliff High on and this and that. So this son of a gun used Cliff High in an interview, unbeknownst to Cliff High, what was the plan of this? He just talking about cryptos and, in this case, Populous. The guy had already thought in his mind, I'm going to try to get a payday out of this. In my opinion, I'm going to get a payday. I'm going to bring a big player in like Cliff High, use him, because he ain't making no money for himself. Jay Snip's not making no money for him. I'm going to use Cliff High. And Cliff High, of course, naturally, I'll do a video. Sure, I'll talk about this. I love this stuff. Does so not knowing that this guy's got little side things going with the Populous team, trying to anyways. And now he's deleted the video because they wouldn't pay him. That's allegedly how this went down. And the destruction that this guy has caused everybody, if what I'm telling you is true, and I personally believe so because of what I've seen, and I have sitting here, which I'm not going to be showing you. But, yeah, this is bad news. So Cliff, you saw his video, right, this weekend. Hey, I didn't know. I had no idea what was going on. Didn't know my video was going to be used that, but I learned a lesson. That's kind of what he said. I'm not just going to do a video like this, interview like that. Which is why Cliff High should just stay with the three amigos. Jay Snip, Big Swear, Cliff High. He knows the kind of guys we are. He had no idea this was. He's done numerous interviews with tons and tons of people in the past. He's never had anything like this happen. Having said that, now you think about it, it was probably bound to happen. And imagine someone, Jay Snip, can you come? I want to do an interview of you. I want to talk about cryptos with you. And then they do that crap to me. So this happened, and now my radar's on. I saw what happened to Cliff High. If anyone tries to reach out to me to do an interview on another YouTube channel, unless it's someone I totally respect, SGT Bull or somebody like that, yeah, I'll do it for those guys. But Silver the Antidote, who is this guy? Where did he come from? I've seen some of his videos, but you start talking about Populous. He had a rock star Cliff High on. Everything was great until this son of a gun wanted his ransom money, so to speak, and they wouldn't pay it, and Will got scared, people got scared, sell. I haven't sold a single Populous token except for the ones I told you about in the beginning when the price was great. Not anticipating this. I was expecting to say, hey, where are we at in a week from now? Wow, I shouldn't have sold off the little bit I did. But you can't be married to stuff. Brain tells me, Joe, you got a huge profit here. Take a little freaking profit. Got my 25 Ethereum out of it when I only had 5 into it, and I still have 4 left, technically speaking, Ethereum worth. And I'm going to wait, because I think it will recover. It's still the same project it was before this guy did this stupid video and then deleted it and all this crap. Nothing changed. The team didn't change. The product didn't change. Their outlook didn't change. Right? So I want to just say that because I can't just sit here idly by, knowing this is happening behind the scenes, seeing screenshots, seeing emails. Silver the Antidote, I think it's time you did a massive video and tell the people what happened. Okay? And if you want to go down the path that, I think it was just a misunderstanding, and that's how you want to roll with it, then roll with it that way. Roll with it that way. But I think the entire community, this big whale, whoever it was, who caused a stampede of sell orders, who then caused everyone else to jump in just like a stampede, you at least owe them a video telling them what the hell happened and why it was a misunderstanding. I don't know that you'll be able to save yourself at this point. And then to come to think of it, my first comment about lawyering up, maybe you don't want to do a video after all. I think I'll let this video be the video for you. I don't know what you could possibly say. Don't know what you could possibly say. Greed is incredible, my friends. Isn't it? Greed. I want money. I got this big whale, Cliff High, on a speaking whale. And now I'm using that to my advantage. And let me ask you a question. Let's just say the Populous team, when this guy said, I want my 30K, said, you know what? You did bring that, and for whatever reason, even though we didn't agree to this, we'll go ahead and throw you a little commission. Here's your 30K. Do you think Silver the Antidote would reach back out to Cliff High? Cliff, I just scored 30K off that interview you did. Really was your entire work. I'd like to send you 10 grand. I'm going to keep 20. I'm doing some things with them on the side right now, so I'd like to send you 10. Can I donate that? Do you want it in ETH? Do you want it in silver? How would you like it? Do you think Silver the Antidote would do that? Does this sound like the kind of guy that would do that? I could tell you what I would do. If that were me, you know what I would do. Throw him a bone. Hey, guys over at my Ether wallet video the other day, they're not paying me. You wouldn't be able to make these transactions. I wouldn't be able to either. I wouldn't have been able to turn my little 1 ETH into 25 ETH of Populous. Wouldn't have done the Veritasium trade if it wasn't from my Ether wallet. You know what? They need to be thrown a bone. Hey, subscribers, if you've been successful, you got a couple ETH, and you want to send even a fraction of them to these guys and girls. Taylor's a girl, actually. At first, I thought it was a dude. Sorry about that. Because there's guys named Taylor, of course, but so are females. But they deserve a bone, man. Jason M4, hey, let's throw him a bone. It's the kind of guy I am. This isn't about greediness, being, greed-filled. That's not what is in me. And when I saw this whole thing with Populous, it started to hurt my heart a little bit. Cliff High got dragged into it, not because he had any clue what was happening, but he was in the video, And it's just a shame. Such a freaking shame. And again, we get so pissed off at our politicians, and why don't one of us? How come one of us doesn't join? And then one of us, like Silver the Antidote, joins and becomes a politician, and ooh. Imagine what kind of politician Silver the Antidote might have been. Hey, vote for me, vote for me. I'm on your side. I'm discussing all the stuff you're discussing. I see all the problems, right? We're all in the same stuff together. Oh, I'm a politician now. Oh, I've got money coming into my back pocket. I'm a big shot. I'm a big shot now. Well, looks like you ain't anymore, Silver the Antidote. Looks like you just effed yourself in the A. What a shame, because you effed everybody else in the A too. Take care.